Do you want to sometimes make things just disappear? Object removal in DaVinci Resolve is incredible. If you want to remove something, you can. And I'm going to show you how to do it. My name's Dan and you're watching DanVinci. Let's go. Guys, so welcome back. So just before we jump into DaVinci Resolve to show you this amazing object removal, I just want to say a huge thank you for hitting 1,000 subscribers. It is a massive achievement and I did it in literally 5 weeks. Alright, so I have a simple shot of my lens cap for my camera, but I don't like the Lumix G. I want to get rid of it. So we're in the timeline now and navigate down to your color tab. That's this little button here. Click on that and it'll bring up the color tab. I've already added a simple LUT and just a simple change to the color for this shot, just so it looks a bit better for the tutorial. So if your node tree looks a little bit different to this, don't worry, it's nothing to worry about. To create a corrector node, you can either right click in your node tree and click add node at corrector, and that'll create a corrector node, or you can click Alt S or Shift S. There's quite a few ways you can do it. Now we have our plain corrector node, we want to track the Lumix G text. Navigate over to the tabs in the center of your color tab and click on this one here that looks like a bit of a round circle thing. This is your tracking window. Then what we want to do is click this little pen here, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw around our object. So let's draw a little mask. There we go. So in our case here, it's going to be a square. Obviously it depends on what you're doing, so your shot isn't going to be identical to mine, but do bear in mind that this only works with smaller things. If you try and do something way more complex, this object removal might not necessarily look that amazing. Let's move over to the tracking window. So to move over to the tracking window, we need to go back over to the tabs here, along here, as you can see, and we want to click on this one here that kind of looks like a scope target thing. Click on that and it'll bring up this window here. This window is your tracking window, and then what we want to do is just make sure our clip is at the beginning and click play here. Very quickly, it's tracking, which is what we want it to do. Okay, so once it's tracked, it will stop. Perfect. What do I do next, Dan? Well, what we want to do next is create another corrector node. Now this corrector node will have the object removal effect applied to it. Click Alt S and Alt S will create another corrector node. We want to drag this blue square here over to the other corrector node that we've just created on the blue triangle, and it will just snap into place there. And you might notice the thumbnail for this node will change. That's perfect. The data from that mask that you've made is now transferred over to that new corrector node that you've just created, which is perfect. What we want to do here now is go to the top here and click on effects, just next to the node tree button that we used earlier to open the node tree. Now we've got a large selection of things. Feel free to look through this because there are a lot of effects here that are really cool that you can experiment with and just learn. But the one we want for this particular tutorial is the object removal. So simply search object removal. Didn't execute that well at all. Right, so we've got object removal. Let's drag this over to the corrector that we just created. And now that has applied onto that corrector. Perfect. Now then, if you want to see exactly what's going on, go up to the top right here and you'll see a magic wand. This is just the highlight button, and this will just basically show you exactly what that node is effectively doing. So as you can see, perfect. We've got the Lumix G. That's exactly what we want to remove. So now, the simple bit, click on scene analysis. What this is doing is effectively checking out the scene, seeing what colors are involved, seeing what textures are involved, and then it will apply this to our next step. Now at the minute, it's grayed out. You might be wondering, why does this look so awful, Dan? Well, we haven't finished. Go over to your object removal effect and click on build clean plate. Boom. Now it does look a little bit blurry, but I find that this is okay when you put text on top of it. It sort of distracts you from that blur. So you can stop here. If this is essentially your aim, just to remove something out of your shot, then stop the video here, you're done. But I'm gonna go a step further. Let's go back into the edit tab and let's create an identical copy by holding Alt and dragging up our footage. This top shot is going to be our clean plate. So if you want, you can name this the clean plate. I'm going to right click, create a new comp and call this clean plate. This clean plate is the shot with the object removed. So I'm going to drag this clean plate over to about halfway. Now at the minute, we play this. Don't crash. It's crashing. Damn it. Don't crash. I've told you not to crash. Listen to me. I'm your command. Oh, it's crashed. Let's remove the effect on this bottom shot. So let's get rid of let's delete these nodes by just highlighting them and clicking delete. And let's go back onto the edit page. Now my computer is actually struggling with this object removal. That's all right. Let's render it in place. If you don't know how to render in place, just right click on the clip, scroll up to render in place, and then you can just select a format that you want. So for example, I'm going to do H.264 and I'm going to render that. H2O water. Okay, so now that's rendered in place, I'm gonna have a little look at this. Pop, it disappears. And it already looks kind of good. To be fair, that does actually look pretty good. I'm strange. Okay, so now it's time to add my own text. What we want to do is create another copy of our original footage. Holding Alt again, drag this up and create an identical copy of your footage. Then let's jump into Fusion. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the planar tracker. Now I have done a video on the planar tracker, video there. If you want to go and learn more about it, I'm going to be covering it quite quickly in this video. But if you want to learn more, go and watch that video. So let's search planar tracker. Control space opens up your select tool, search tracker, and then click on planar tracker. Then what we want to do is select our object. So in my case, obviously it's the lens cap. I'm just going to go around it like so, create a little circle, boom, we've got our object there. Click set to set your reference frame, then clicking this button and it will track. That simple. Now that it's tracked, it will just stop. Then we want to go back over to our inspector tab and click on the track button here. And it's basically a drop down button. And we want to click on corner pin. This will create this funky square. And that's all right, because we're going to come back to that later. Now what we want to do is click on our text icon. If you don't have the text icon up here, that's fine. Control space and just search text. Text plus will appear, perfect, add that, we have text plus. Now what I'm gonna do is write whatever I want. DanVinci, oh yeah. Now we've created the text that we wanna make, let's delete this merge node and unattach the text to our footage. Now we have the free floating, free as a bird text node. Clicking and holding on the square, drag this down and attach this to your planar tracker. Now as you can see, really small in our shot here, we've got DanVinci and it looks a bit funky. That's fine. Click on the planar tracker and then this funky square that we saw earlier, let's just drag that around and try by dragging the corners like so and try and get this to fit the perspective of our shot. So it's a bit fiddly, but if you just play around, eventually you'll get there. Okay, so now you've got the text in a position that you like and is basically in the same perspective of the shot. Let's remove and unattach the footage from the planar tracker. Now it will disappear, that's fine. What we want to do is drag down a background node, which is this one here. If you don't have that, control space and search background and it'll create a background. Drag the background on like so, boom, we now have a black background. This is perfect. If you go over to the controls in the inspector tab and just bring down the alpha like this, it will just show the text and only the text. And that's exactly what we want to do. So this layer here is now our DanVinci text. So I'm going to name this by creating a new comp text. Now that at the minute, our DanVinci text disappears with the Lumix G text. So let's just drag this above. I've got the layering a little bit wrong here, but that's all right. That's just a part of editing. Now at the minute, this actually kind of looks cool. It goes from Lumix G to DanVinci. Let's add some animation. And this is actually really simple. Navigate over to your toolbox in the bottom left corner of your screen, click on toolbox and click the search button and let's search push. Moving over to motion here, drag the push transition over to your text and apply this to your text, like so. At the minute, it looks a bit funky, but we can change this in the inspector tab. In the inspector tab, let's change the preset to down so it comes from above. Perfect, like that. That already looks quite good. Let's also add an ease in and an ease out like that. And now it looks even better. And then hovering the mouse over the clean plate, you'll see the little white pegs that appear. Click these, drag them over to the right like so. And this is basically the opacity. At the beginning of the clip, the opacity is 0. At the end where the peg is positioned is the opacity at 100%. Really simple. Now the Lumix G disappears and fades away and the DanVinci text slides in and replaces it. So I'm just going to move this a little bit further forward so it disappears a little bit earlier and makes it more pronounced that the actual Lumix G text has just vanished. There's one little detail that I think is missing and it's actually the little shadow that is created from the text. Now you don't necessarily have to do this, but feel free to watch this and just decide for yourself whether you want to do this in your instance. Obviously every bit of footage is completely different and it will just depend on your exact use case. Let's make another copy of the text. I feel like we're making copies of everything in this video. Hold Alt, drag this down, and let's make a copy of this. Let's remove the push transition that we created, so there's just the text there, and let's decompose this text. Right click, go all the way up here, and you will see decompose in place. Go over to this and click using clips only. Click that, and it will decompose and bring back the original shot that you had before. Turn off these top clips here and just have a look by clicking D. And as you can see, it's exactly the same. Let's click D on this one as well. It's just the text. Fantastic. Basically, this shot is going to be our shadow for the text that's flying down. So let's go into the Fusion tab again and let's make some changes to this text node. Let's go to the inspector tab and let's make this black. And let's get rid of the stroke by clicking on this one and turn off stroke. Where is stroke? Oh, there you go. Enable. There you go. Don't know why I missed that. Now we have our text, which is black. Perfect. Let's go over to the edit tab. Now, because obviously the background's black, it's not going to show up. If we click D on our shot underneath, the black DanVinci text shows up. Let's swap this around with the clean plate because obviously the clean plate needs to be underneath this shot. And then we click D and boom, we now have basically the shadow of our DanVinci text sandwiched underneath the actual DanVinci text. And because this has the same tracking data as the shot above, it will look quite realistic. Go over to the toolbox and search blur and click on open effects. Let's add some Gaussian blur to this, make this a bit blurry, because while shadows are never like completely sharp, unless it's like really bright. Now that we have our shadow, let's right click on this, create a new comp and call this shadow. Now we have the shadow comp, let's go to the beginning of our push transition and create a zoom keyframe. Then let's go to the beginning of our push transition on the text and create another zoom keyframe, but this time go to 0. And you can probably see where this is going. This already looks quite good. Then I'm going to grab the end of the shadow clip and drag this down, so we're going to shorten it. And then I'm going to fade it out using the opacity peg in the top right corner. Drag this along like this. And look at that. Does that not look really realistic already? And it's really, really simple. Hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. My name's Dan, you've watched DanVinci, and I'll see you, hopefully, next time. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye!